Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the W. Mason Coach Report with head men's lacrosse coach Seth Tierney. Welcome, Coach.
Steven, thanks for having me.
Coach, a solid opening weekend for your team, a 21-11 win over Wagner. What were your overall assessment of your team's play on Saturday?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job. We improved, from the week before, and that's the name of the game right now. Is every week, every day, try to get a little bit better as we get closer and closer to the CAA, our CAA portion of the schedule. But I like what some of the younger guys did, and again, I think we took a step.
Yeah, and we'll get into some of the individual performances and who we saw played really well. But one of the important things that I saw was you had a lot of guys in the game, kind of break the ice for some of the younger guys. Was that really an important part of that first game? Really get some guys just some game experience?
Yeah, I think when you put on a game jersey and game shorts, it just changes everything. You know, you're so used to wearing your practice gear that it's just clothes. But to a young guy or to, game day is just different. It's special, and it was good to get a lot of guys a little bit of game day experience.
You got pushed a little bit in the beginning there, but you kind of pulled away. Did you feel like that was a key to it in that end of that first half? You got that little run there to kind of pull away, including a long pole, Mr. Michael Altman there with some goals?
Yeah, no, listen, I'm glad that everything that happened, I'm thankful for, right? We want to put our team through as many different experiences as we can. So when the game was tight, we have to react. When the game started to get away a little bit, we have to react. Coming out of halftime, they score a goal, we got to react. And so as many of those we can go through, I'm certainly thankful for. And, I Coach McCutcheon over at Wagner, he's building something pretty special over there. And I would watch out for them in the years to come.
In February, sometimes you worry about the snow or some other field conditions. It was actually really windy. How much does that play a role in your team on Saturday?
Yeah, when you're wearing helmets and it's windy, it actually is the worst weather, right? You can play while you're wet, you can play while it's snowing out, cold, but the wind, it actually affects the hearing, it affects the balls a little bit, and when you're throwing them or shooting them, and so you had to overcome that a little bit as well. So we tried to shorten up the passes, we tried to make sure that if you hear it, say it, and this way everybody can hear the plays. We had a couple of hand signs coming from the sideline, so again, another experience that we were thankful for.
Let's talk about a few of the individual performances that really shined. One of your freshmen, Justin Sykes, what did you see from him? 4 goals, 2 assists. Really just an outstanding best freshman debut since Dylan McIntosh, 6 goals. Not debut, since at St. John's.
St. John's, yeah. No, I mean, we're certainly thrilled for Justin and the way he played, the poise that he had as a freshman, got to the goal, made some good decisions. Really thrilled for him. Ryan Sheridan, another one that did a great job. Sam Lutfi, he had some points. And certainly when you move into the other guys, Michael Altman having a bunch of goals, Ryan threw in a few. But those young guys, we were happy with the step they took.
Stealing my questions.
Sorry.
It's all right. Dylan McIntosh, another strong game, come back from an injury-plagued year. It's great to see him kind of have a strong day, isn't it?
He's much better without a broken jaw. He's much better, and he's turned into a nice leader on the field. He's focused. He's a competitor, and he knows what it's like to sit out while you're injured. And so he's making the most of his time at this point.
Maybe the key to your team this year is kind of having all those pieces to go along with Ryan Tierney. And Ryan had a hat trick, 3 goals, but it was kind of the other guys did it on Saturday, wasn't it? So how important is that going to be to the growth of your team this year?
I mean, it's everything. Last year with the injuries, we were, like we said in the first show, less dimensional, less multidimensional than we could be. Now all of a sudden, okay, you go down the list and there was a couple of multi-goal scorers. The face-off guy did his job, goalie did his job. So now all of a sudden you got the scouting report for us is a little maybe goes into another paragraph versus the one paragraph maybe we were last year.
Yeah, you just mentioned face-off and goalie Bobby and Brian. What did you think of their play? Brian dominated, I think 24 of 30, and Bobby allowed only 7 goals on the afternoon.
Yeah, no, I think, again, Brian was focused. He was getting over the ball. He was exiting, in an efficient fashion. And your stats are what matter. With us, it's he may win the face-off, but if we're not playing offense after that faceoff, then it doesn't count as a win faceoff for us. And so with that, he knows he's being held to even a higher standard, and that ball has got to be being played on the offensive end after we face off, and certainly after we win. So again, we'll have a new test this week. We'll talk about that. I don't want to jump ahead on that one. And then Bobby did a good job, solid in the goal, a couple of breakdowns defensively, but I thought we grew defensively as well, from our trip up to Syracuse to a good week of practice to then game week, and then we took a few more steps. So we're breaking down the film now, and hopefully take a little step better.
Yeah, you scored 21 goals, most of the Seth Tierney era here at Hofstra, third most in CA history. Was that a goal? Was that a goal of the game to kind of just see what you guys can do, success offensively, or just kind of just flows in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's really the shot clock which affects everything. What are you going to do? When the game was in hand towards the end, you don't necessarily need to score anymore. Both teams were playing hard, and to give them credit, they scored 4 goals in 2 minutes and 38 seconds in the fourth quarter, so they never gave up. But with the shot clock, we're not going to just roll the ball in the corner. We're going to play. And then there were guys that play really hard in practice, and if they got 1 or 2 runs at the end of that fourth quarter, they deserve to play. And so we wanted to make sure that we gave them a great look as well, because they may be moving up the depth chart this week.
Well, speaking of this week, you have one game on the schedule again this week. Home game at James M. Short Stadium against Michigan. 2 Hopkins grads on the sidelines, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or am I mistaken?
1, I think, right? We got 2?
Yeah.
I'm missing. Who else is out there?
Their head coach?
Their head coach, Kevin Connery.
And Seth Tierney?
And Seth Tierney, yeah. I forgot about him.
Okay.
But Kevin Connery, I mentioned. I got a chance to coach Kevin at Hopkins. Wonderful IQ of the game. Doing a great job out at Michigan. We got a couple of young guys playing hard for him, the older guys, and his culture is being set right now. So, again, we got a Big Ten team coming to town. It's going to be a battle.
Yeah, it's kind of a name opponent just in school name, and it's a growing lacrosse program. It's kind of a real good test for your program, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, they played very well this past weekend against Cleveland State, who is not an easy team to beat. They got some good players on that team, but Michigan constantly in that Big Ten schedule. They got some guys that can get up and down. They got some guys that can finish the ball. It's going to be a totally different game this week.
And what are the keys to victory to beating Michigan?
Yeah, having a good practice on Monday. Focus. You can't have a bad week if you have a good practice on Monday. So we're hopeful to have a good one today. Let's fix Wagner, the issues that we had, the mistakes that we had, and then we'll start focusing on Michigan sometime tomorrow. But let's make sure that we kind of get better. We're at that point in the season where if you make the mistake of just doing everything for your opponent, you end up not getting better yourself. So let's give us the respect that we deserve and get us better. We have a couple guys that will be back in the lineup this week, so things could get shaken up a little bit, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, another Hofstra lacrosse doubleheader this weekend.
Yes.
Hofstra men's lacrosse at 11 a.m. versus Michigan. Hofstra women's lacrosse at 2 p.m. against Bucknell. James M. Short Stadium on Saturday, February 15th. Get your tickets, HofstraTickets.com. Call 516-HOF-TIXX or visit the Hofstra Athletics ticket office in the lobby of the MLAX Sports Complex. Coach, good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Stephen, thank you. A quick shout-out. We had an unbelievable face-off dinner. I got the Flying Dutchman still on to represent those 1980s, and thanks to Coach Royal and Coach Danowski for being Skyped in, all of your help, and everyone that came to our dinner. We really appreciate the kickoff that you sent us.
Yeah, it was a fabulous night, and looking for another fabulous week for Hofstra men's lacrosse. Thank you once again for joining us in the W. Mason Coach Report with head men's lacrosse coach Seth Tierney.